What if the fruit you think is helping your prostate is actually feeding the very inflammation, making it worse? Most people believe that all fruits are healthy, packed with vitamins, loaded with antioxidants, and in general that's true, but not always, especially if you're a senior dealing with prostate issues. There are 4 specific fruits that might seem harmless, even beneficial, but are quietly sabotaging your efforts to feel better. And you've likely eaten at least one of them this week, or even today. Now, before we dive in, I want you to do something simple. Type in the comments where you're watching from, your city or town. It helps us see how far this message travels, and you might even find someone nearby who's watching too. All right, let's get real. You've probably been told to eat more fruit for fiber, for heart health, to keep your digestion going strong. But did anyone mention how certain fruits interact with an inflamed prostate? Or that some of them might actually make the inflammation worse? You're about to discover why your morning fruit salad, that glass of juice, or that healthy snack might be the reason your nights are restless and your bathroom visits never end. Let me ask you, have you noticed more frequent urges at night? That uncomfortable pressure? Maybe even some lower back discomfort? These are common signs when the prostate isn't happy. But here's the twist. It's not just aging, it's not just genetics. Sometimes it's what you're eating or drinking. One fruit in particular is often praised for its high vitamin C content, but when you're already dealing with chronic inflammation, its natural acids can irritate the urinary tract and aggravate the prostate. Curious which one? Hold that thought. We'll get to it. And here's something most people never consider. Fructose. That's the sugar found in fruit. Now, in small amounts, it's not the enemy. But for seniors, especially those with a compromised metabolism or any degree of insulin resistance, excess fructose is a major inflammation trigger. Your body doesn't process it the same way as glucose. It's handled by the liver, and when you overload it, you create a cascade of internal stress, elevating inflammatory markers, and yes, impacting the prostate too. One study even linked high fructose intake to increased levels of C-reactive protein, a well-known marker of inflammation in the body. So while that fruit bowl might look colorful and wholesome, it might also be silently fueling the fire inside. Now think about this. Have you been told that dried fruits are a healthy snack? That a handful of raisins or dates is better than a cookie? That seems logical, right? But dried fruits are fructose bombs. And without the water content of fresh fruit, their sugars hit your system faster and harder. Not only do they spike your blood sugar, but they create a metabolic response that encourages fat storage, especially around the belly, and abdominal fat is directly associated with higher risks of prostate inflammation. But it's not just about sugar. It's also about acidity. Citrus fruits like oranges and grapefruits are often promoted for their vitamin C, and yes, they do have that, but they're also highly acidic. If you have an already irritated urinary tract or a swollen prostate pressing against your bladder, these acids can act like gasoline on a fire. That sharp burning sensation, that urgency, it could be made worse by your so-called healthy morning juice. So let's connect the dots. Fruit number 1 to be cautious of: dried fruits, dates, raisins, apricots, dense with sugar, no fiber buffer, a big metabolic hit. Fruit number 2, oranges and grapefruit, acidic and inflammatory for sensitive systems, especially when juiced, removing all the natural fiber. Fruit number 3, watermelon. This one's tricky. It's hydrating, it's refreshing, but its high glycemic index means it spikes blood sugar fast. And remember, elevated glucose and insulin levels are linked to systemic inflammation, not ideal for a prostate already under stress. And finally, fruit number 4, bananas. Surprised? They seem innocent, right? But bananas are rich in starches that quickly convert into sugar in the body. Plus, they're high in histamine-releasing compounds. If you've got chronic inflammation or sensitivity issues, bananas can subtly push that even further, contributing to swelling, discomfort, and even hormonal imbalance. But here's the real kicker. It's not just about cutting these fruits out. It's about replacing them with smarter options. Low-sugar berries like blueberries and raspberries, rich in antioxidants, low in fructose, anti-inflammatory, or avocados, technically a fruit, packed with healthy fats that support hormone balance and reduce inflammation naturally. The bottom line? Not all fruits are your friend if you're dealing with prostate issues. In fact, some are quietly working against you. You don't need to fear fruit, but you do need to be strategic. Understand your body, tune into how it responds, and make choices that support healing, not harm. Now here's your next move. If you want to know which foods actively shrink inflammation, balance hormones, and support prostate health long-term, watch the video on your screen right now. Trust me, you'll never look at your grocery list the same way again.